The first game that comes to mind, South Carolina versus Georgia. South Carolina had a halftime lead on the road in Athens last week. I only got to see bits and pieces of this at the tailgate. I showed up late to Clemson, but and I also, Matthew, I always forget this every year that your dad's disdain for Georgia is more than his hatred for South Carolina, and it's the reaction of people around our tailgate whenever he cheers as South Carolina does something good when they're playing Georgia still catches me off guard every time.
Yeah, I mean, it was honestly a horrible week for everyone in the top five. I mean, you have Georgia didn't look great against South Carolina. Alabama looked horrible against South Florida. Um, I know Texas didn't look great against Wyoming. Maybe they ended up pulling away at the end. I kind of lost track of that game. But yeah, I started the day cheering for UGA. But when it got to the third and U of was in the game, I kind of changed and started pulling for them a little bit because I'm more of a fan of the chaos than I am a non-fan of South Carolina. So I did start the day wanting Georgia to win, but once I kind of realized that South Carolina had a chance, then it switched.
Yeah, I at the tailgate I said something similar to my mom. I'm like, trust me, I don't want South Carolina to win this game, but can you imagine the chaos and how funny that would be? And my mom's like, no, that would not be funny. I'm like, absolutely would be funny if Georgia got beat by South Carolina. I still hate South Carolina. I don't want them to win. But the fact that little old South Carolina travels to Athens and beats the number one ranked Georgia Bulldogs, yeah, that'd be kind of funny for chaos and content.
Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be fun for us because we live in South Carolina, so we would have to deal with the fan outrage. Not outrage, but I don't know what the
Hype
word
train
is.
getting steam.
Yeah, whatever it turned into last year after the Tennessee and Clemson wins that South Carolina had. I don't want that to happen again, but it would have been worth it just to have Georgia lose their winning streak. I think if Georgia would have lost, I think Florida State wouldn't have owned the longest winning streak in college football.
Really?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I heard during the broadcast of the Florida State game this past weekend that they're in second with like 8 consecutive wins, and Georgia got their 20th against South
Hmm.
Carolina.
And I guess that victory over Tennessee and beating Clemson last year, I guess that was your first taste as a South Carolina resident of the obnoxious South Carolina fans when they upset someone.
Yeah, luckily though, I do live in Clemson, so it's really not that bad. Like the people I see every day are students at Clemson and teachers and employees at Clemson, so they're not
Yeah.
rubbing it in really.